San Diego, they go back to the top of the Western Conference table. They have set an MLS record for points in a season, wins in a season by an expansion side.
Hello and welcome into the official SDFC podcast presented by Ford. I'm Kaila Burns-Hefner here with Sal Zizzo and Marvell Wynn for episode 21 of the pod.
21.
Look at us go. That's one more than a venti. Anyway.
We're coming to you after a very exciting and very historic win over Houston. 4-2 win. Guys, talk us through it.
We're so dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I don't know. It's like I almost prefer the other team to score first. Like literally, that's a vibe I feel sometimes. It's a very strange thing. Like Atlanta, we score first. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know. And then we end up tying, right?
Well, we're 6-8-2 when allowing the first goal.
Which is crazy because normally that stat's like a lot lower. Maybe very people don't realize that, but you're almost a 500 team after a team scores first, which is, again, insane. But yeah, I mean, it's a game. I wouldn't say it was perfect. I don't think, there were, it was a complete game by any means. I think, the other team, Houston, did have some chances. Obviously, they scored early. But I do think SDFC did what they do. I mean, they grind, they get their chances. And then what's been different is they put away some of their chances this time, right? Where I think that's been the missing piece at the last few home games. Is they've been all over teams. They just haven't scored. And so, there's this misperception like, oh, we're not a good home team. But actually, we almost played better the last two home games than this game. We just couldn't put the ball away in the first half, especially. So, they hung around there. They got the job done. Pellegrino, 2 assists and a goal, a nice goal at the end. De La Torre coming in off the bench, scoring another guy that comes in off the bench and makes an impact and scores a goal. Again, probably we can look that up. That's probably a record too, like goals from subs. But yeah, just overall, another road game, unbeaten in the last 9, which ties an MLS record to go on top of all the other MLS records we're about to talk about.
Man.
Everyone looks at me to announce the records. Let's go. So SDFC now holds the league record for most points by an expansion team with 60 points.
Let's
That
go,
beats LAFC's previous record of 57 points that they set in 2018 in their expansion season. And now the most wins by an expansion team with 18 wins. 18 can't even express how, synonymous that is with this community. Yeah. Having the 18 communities and having that number be the one that, holds that title for now. And still counting, potentially. Yes. There's one more game left, so an opportunity to get more wins and more points there. But, can't say enough about just what this team has been able to prove in year one and just what that means to showcase what they've been able to do. I
mean, look, the story's not finished yet, but the first several chapters are certainly amazing. I mean, look, nobody would have probably predicted this as much as I was, happy about it starting and optimistic. I mean, no one probably predicted that they would be in the first position as of now in the West, breaking almost every expansion record. It's just so far been a dream season. And I don't want it to end. I don't want this to be our, but they had a great, regular season, or they beat up. Great, awesome. But I think where we are now as a team, I think we want more going into playoffs. And there's no doubt in my mind that they'll do it. But there is going to be some pressure on them. And just excited. I mean, 18 victories in your expansion year, 6, however many on the road.
11 wins. Jeez. Just looking at that.
Yeah. Pretty incredible.
No, that's good. I mean, when you have an expansion side, the expansion sides have gotten better their initial year as it's progressed. Like LA's come out and done well. Atlanta came out and did well. And then St. Louis.
Yeah, St. Louis was the previous holder of that wins record was 17. So it makes sense they set that in 2023.
So I don't know what the requirements are to have an expansion side or what have you, but ours was we're really young. Right. We have young management and we have young players coming onto the pitch, and it's more about creating a culture. It seems like this is more of a place that's building something from the ground up as opposed to just bringing in players from elsewhere and just going to be on the same team. So I think this is something that feels like it's going to last, much like the team's form and their style of play. It seems like something that's going to be almost generational. It's going to build up. It's going to be maintained and then carry on for a few years.
It's very intentional, and the word we've heard a lot on this podcast too from some of the coaching staff and people involved in making those decisions is consistency.
Yeah, just consistent every game, and they haven't looked ahead. They haven't said, "Oh, this is where we want to be at the end of the season." It's like, this is where we want to be every single game, and let's focus on the next one. This one's over. Let's reflect. Let's get better, and then let's worry about the next one. And so, yeah, I mean, honestly, there's not much else to say other than it's just been a wild ride, a wild journey so far, and I don't want it to end. I want them to keep going. I had that feeling of the Potters getting eliminated recently, and I don't like that. So I want to see us go as far as possible, and it's definitely possible. And, obviously, one game left in the regular season. I'd like to see them extend that record. I'd like to see them, get to 63 points in year one. I was part of a team in 2015, the very first decision day, where we won Supporter Shield on decision day, and we ended with 60 points that year. So, 63-point season is arguably, very, very good season, and it could have been a Supporter Shield type year. Obviously, Philly locked that up, though.
What was the feeling that you guys had that year going into that last game?
Yeah, I think we had a similar mentality at San Diego, right? There wasn't any added pressure. We knew what we were playing for, but it was just like, let's just do what we've been doing all year. Focus one game at a time. It was away at Chicago. We had 57 points. Dallas had 57 points at that time as well. We had them on goal differential. So we knew had we won, unless Dallas won, 8-0, I think we were okay. So going into that game, we basically knew we had to win. It was on the road. We score early, and then you kind of hear little rumblings like, oh, Dallas is winning also, or whatever on the sideline, and you're hearing, we got to close this out. And so it became, the last 20 minutes kind of a little bit of a scramble, a little bit of nerves, but we were able to close it out. And I remember that night, raising the shield, and it was one of my core memories as a player. But then we went on and we lost in I think it was the semis that year to Columbus, who ended up losing an MLS Cup. But I think MLS Cup is obviously the ultimate prize, and I think San Diego is still, very much in the running for that. And I'm excited to see how they do in the playoffs.
Do you? So it sounds like you also had the kind of mentality of just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and then we'll end up a mile down the road. So you think that's the ultimate way to go about it? Is every day, every week in training, it's just, this is our goal for this week, or this is our goal for today. And then once you have all your goals put together, you end up having the big prize at the end.
Yeah.
Or do you think it's kind of important that some teams have like this is what we're going through, therefore ultimate goal, always keep your eyes on the prize?
I disagree with that. I think if you take one game at a time, you'll end there, right? But if you look too far ahead, you're missing all the things the details that is going to take you to that point. And so not only does it help you just through the course of the season, but now every single game going into playoffs feels like every other game, because you're making that game in front of you the biggest priority. You're not looking ahead. So no matter what you're doing, that next game is the most important. And it goes for same in playoffs. You're playing your playoff series, you're focused on that game. If you win that game. And so in the playoffs, it gets exemplified. It's obvious, right? But in the regular season, sometimes you lose track because you're thinking about the next weekend, or hey, oh no, this one, let's worry about in 2 weeks when we play LAFC. No, let's worry about whatever St. Louis now, and let's worry about Nashville, and then let's get to LAFC.
Yeah, I think you hear about coaches across not even just this league, but across all the different sports. I remember my time covering college football. The best coaches are saying the same thing. Just focus on the task at hand, and everything will fall into place. And that's what we hear here. Yeah, no, it's been great, and it's led to them being not arguably, I think personally, the best expansion team that there's ever been in the MLS.
And I agree that if they're just focusing on the next game that's coming up, that means what just happened in the previous game can be remedied and worked on that much more the next game, as opposed to, hey, we got it scored on here. We need to fix that down the road when it comes to playoff time.
No.
Instead, it's this hurt us. Let's fix this because we need to prepare for the next game.
Yeah.
It seems to be the right formula, the right mentality.
Sal mentioned it earlier. SDFC is unbeaten on the road for 9 straight games and is 11-4-1 on the road this season, which ties an MLS single season record for most road victories in a single season, set previously by Montreal in 2022 and Miami in 2024. There is an opportunity this weekend to do that again. Not this weekend, sorry, I misspoke. We have a bye weekend, thankfully. We go on the road on the 18th on Decision Day in Portland. So we'll see how that plays out. There's a lot on the line. We will talk about that more in our playoff segment. But first, we want to get to you an interview with DJ Dynamiq, one of our official DJs for San Diego FC for this season. He provides that match entertainment in match. You can find him all over around San Diego. He's performed all over the world. Really excited to get to hear from him.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
As the official specialty insurance partner of San Diego FC, Palomar offers standalone earthquake insurance that protects property and peace of mind. It's crucial to be prepared. Visit plmr.com or contact your insurance agent for a quote. Palomar, reimagining specialty insurance with innovative, creative solutions.
All right, we are super excited to introduce Hector Beltran, official DJ for San Diego FC, also known as DJ Dynamiq.
Thank you for having me.
To the show.
Thank you.
Welcome, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the invite. I'm excited.
Yeah, excited to have you on here. And first of all, I just really want to hear from you. Like, some of our fans may know you and know your background, but please share kind of some of the experiences you've had in the music side. You've DJ'd for Bad Bunny, for Drake. See, Canelo is on this list as well. There's some huge names on here. Just want to hear your background. How did it all start for you?
First of all, thank you for having me. I'm excited. I've been DJing for almost 20 years. I'm from Mexicali, Baja California, which is about 2 hours east from here, from San Diego. I grew up in the Imperial Valley, Brawley, California. Always into sports, baseball, soccer, boxing. I started DJing at a young age, 17 years old, right when I graduated high school. Started DJing the local bars and, backyard parties in the Imperial Valley. Moved to San Diego in 2008. So I've been here a little bit over 18 years now. So I consider San Diego home. My children were born here. I've been a resident of Chula Vista for 12 years. So this is my home, you know what I mean? I pretty much moved to San Diego with the dream of being a DJ, and literally I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm gonna try. I think I could achieve it. And here we are now, 2025, with I guess some dreams accomplished, including now as the official DJ for San Diego FC, which is a true honor for me because being from San Diego and a resident of San Diego and a part of the community, it means a lot. My musical journey started early at an early age, but I got involved with sports about 10 years ago, DJing for the San Francisco 49ers. I DJed 7 seasons for them. I was their official in-game DJ. I did a lot of boxing events. I DJed the World Cup in 2022 in Qatar. That was a really good experience. So I've been in the sports industry for some time now, and being chosen as one of the DJs for the club in being that I'm from San Diego County, also it means a lot. So very excited, and I'm even more excited because the team is doing great, and we're on a great journey. So it's an honor to be here and for many years to come.
You DJ'd all over the world, and obviously San Diego is home for you, so that's special. But what makes being a part of the scene here so special for you?
I think the culture, the community, is what makes it all special. we're right by the border, so there's a lot of Hispanics, Latinos, Mexicans, Americans we all love the sport of soccer. I mean, who doesn't? It's the number one sport in the world, right? And I think it's very unique because we're by the border and we get both sides of the borders. We get both energies. We get, two different lifestyles, but at the same time, the same passion for the sport of soccer and for the club, for San Diego FC. So it's very cool because I'm Latino myself. I'm Mexican. I'm an immigrant myself, and seeing a little bit of everything between Latinos, Hispanics, Americans in the stadium on game day. We all celebrate the sport of soccer in the club, so it's a very unique and amazing situation to be in. So,
how did the opportunity with SDFC come about? Like, did they approach you, or okay? Let's see.
So, a good friend of mine by the name of Ricky. Shout out to Ricky. I was having dinner in Cabo. I remember it was spring break last year. I was having dinner. I was out there DJing some spring break events. And amongst the table was Ricky. And Ricky was like, oh, where you from? Small talk. And he was like, he's from the Bay. So he's like, oh, wow, you DJ for the 49ers. That's cool. He's like, you're from San Diego? He's like, have you heard of San Diego FC? I'm like, yeah, actually, I've been in contact with them here and there. Next day, he connects me with Tom Penn, our CEO, and the rest is history. Tom Penn, pretty much, I want to say I got handpicked by Tom Penn, and I want to salute him and shout out him and everyone involved that has made this journey possible. But yeah, Tom Penn pretty much made it happen, and I've been here since then. You know what I mean? Like from one day to the next, we got on an email. Tom Penn replied right away, connected me with Paul, and Paul connected me with Seb, and then we just kind of, we've been here since. So I guess my resume and being from San Diego and being, Hispanic, I think it was a perfect marriage for myself to be involved with the club,
For sure, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
So SDFC's whole thing, we have that partnership with TJ and all that stuff, bridging Mexican culture and American culture. Your music kind of has a blend of a bunch of different things. So how's it feel not only being a part of an organization that also has the same views as you, but you're also here at the beginning. You're here to help begin something that's going to be around for generations. And I mean, that's got to be kind of exciting, the way you do things in the stadium, outside the stadium, and even around San Diego.
Yeah, it's very exciting, and I really love and admire how San Diego FC gives back to the community and how gets the culture involved in the city of San Diego, Chula Vista, Oceanside, North County, you name it.
Oceanside.
It's yes, beautiful. It's a beautiful thing because I repeat this to many people within our organization, and I say it like we're hitting it out of the ballpark. Like it's a home run every time. Like everything's done right, and it's very exciting. And I'm not just talking about game day and game day experience. We'll get to the game day experience in a second, but I'm talking about everything leading up to game day, before game day, how we're getting like the merch of the match involved, how we're getting local community involved, how we're getting local vendors and local businesses involved, how we're getting kids involved. And it's a beautiful thing because at the end of the day, the sport of soccer is bigger than just a sport. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a celebration between, people of all ages and all different traditions and from different communities. And I think San Diego FC is, out of all, and I watch a lot of soccer. I want to say it's one of, if not the most, the team that celebrates the most community and is impactful with Latino and American heritage and all that. So I think it's a beautiful thing, and it's an honor to be a part of, for sure.
Yeah, it feels more like a family.
Exactly.
I would absolutely say that kind of feels like the Mexican side of things. It's very familiar. Everyone comes together and everyone celebrates together. So, I felt the same way. I'm glad to hear that from you too.
100%.
You're a big soccer fan. You've probably experienced a lot of different game day atmospheres. What makes San Diego's different?
The energy, for sure. The energy. I just feel like San Diego is a very underrated city when it comes to sports. We can get into the sports history in the past, but we'll sit here for another hour talking about that. But San Diego is very passionate. We're very passionate. Our fans are very passionate. We're very diehard. You slap a logo of a team and it's like, all right, that's my team. That's what we're doing. I've already seen people getting San Diego FC tattoos.
There's a lot of San Diego FC
You know what
tattoos.
I mean? So it's like, our fans, our community, and our culture, we're diehard. And I think we're going to ride or die for any team that we're a part of. that's involved with the city. So I think what makes us different is that, and also just the energy on game day. We bring it whatever. We could be up, we could be down, we could be tied, we could be trailing. We could probably not even be in playoff picture, and we're still gonna be going crazy. Shout out to the supporter section too, because that's a very unique. So my DJ setup is right behind the supporters, so I get to like kind of be interacting with them, and it's pretty cool. So I think it has a lot to do with our supporters. It has a lot to do with our fans. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a Tuesday game, a Saturday game. If we're competing against another sports team that also has a sold out game, all the games are full. And win or lose, like we're there cheering, and I think it's a very unique experience for any team, and I'm sure the players really appreciate that, because getting that energy from the fans just kind of energizes them to play even better. You know what I mean? It motivates them. So
I think it's interesting what you touched on about the fans, because growing up in San Diego as well, I felt like San Diego had this perception of like fans were like teams in Florida, right? Like, oh, it's in a nice city, but you kind of go there and it's not really like a good environment. You know, maybe the Chargers felt that way or whatever, right? But as we've gotten older, I think the Padres have shown, SDFC has shown, the Wave has shown, like teams have shown around the city that we're more than that. I mean, the Padres 100%. Are selling out all the time. SDFC is doing great. Like, we're definitely a city, especially the ones that have grown up in this city. We've become ingrained in the city, and we know, you know, how good sports teams and how it brings the community together and all that. So I just found it interesting, the growth from the perception that there was when we were probably younger growing up and to where it is now is unbelievable.
And I feel like we've San Diego, we've always been that underdog, right? Like
yeah.
Everyone, you know, whether it's the Padres or it was the Chargers or even San Diego FC now, or the Wave or San Diego State. You know what I mean? San Diego State, you know, the Aztecs, whether it's the college football or college basketball, we're always the underdogs. Like San Diego State men's basketball makes the Final Four. Underdog story.
I went there.
You know,
I went to Houston.
Chargers make the NFC championship game. Underdog story. Inaugural season. San Diego FC, we're the 1 seed
for sure.
Heading into playoffs. Underdog story, arguably the greatest inaugural season of all time. So it's always an underdog story. So I like it though. I like being the underdog. I don't mind it.
I actually like that. Like we haven't won like a championship yet, you know, and it's like that one thing that the city is like dying for. And the Padres obviously weren't able to do it this year. Now we got SDFC coming up, and we're gonna keep going. We're getting close.
We're getting close. It's a matter of time. We're gonna manifest that.
Yeah.
When you see that energy and that vibe that you have in the stadiums, and also you DJ around downtown as well,
yes,
and all that stuff. So one thing I was always curious about is when you feel in the energy from thousands of people, it's one thing that you have in common is that, you know, Sal has scored more goals than me in my past, but you can just put your hand out and just go like this and then have everyone just follow. You can turn the music down and have people singing your songs. I mean, what's that atmosphere like? What's that vibe like when you're around downtown and in San Diego and around the area?
It's just, to me, it's like the adrenaline rush I get from people singing along, or I say something on the mic, like make some noise, put your hands up, and they follow. It's like, it's the ultimate high for me. You know what I mean? I just think it's really cool to be like, I'm the center of attention, and I'm responsible for everybody in the nightclub or everybody in a festival or everybody in a stadium. I'm responsible for curating their energy and curating their, you know, their mood and their feelings. So it's a huge responsibility. So when it succeeds, because it doesn't always succeed, unfortunately, but when it does succeed more than not, it's a great feeling. You know what I mean? So it's one thing DJing the nightclubs, you know, more intimate, 500 people, 1,000 people here in San Diego, but it's another thing DJing a concert. I've done concerts, I've done festivals, I've done stadiums, arenas. A stadium like Snapdragon, which is a beautiful stadium. It's amazing for when you hear a crowd of 30,000 people roar. You know what I'm saying, or sing along, or I say something on the mic, and everybody gets, you know, really turned up, and it's really unique experience, and it's fun. It's fun. So I wouldn't trade it. I don't take it for granted. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Did you ever have to, like during a set, whatever, you know, maybe they're not feeling whatever, and you have to pivot, you have to change tactics, you have to change formation?
Always. It's like a quarterback. You have to audible. You know what I mean? You have to audible at all times. You have to adapt. It's all about reading the crowd, and it's all about the people. It's not.
So you don't have it like prepared beforehand?
No, never.
Wow.
I mean, I have an idea of what I would like to play, but you just go with what's working. What's flowing, like I'm gonna try this. And if it's working, I'm gonna stay in that pocket. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't work, all right, let me get out of it and try something new, or go back to what was working. It's like a quarterback. It's like a playbook. You know what I mean? So
interesting.
I would say that there is a lot of DJs that probably stick to a script or a certain playlist, but I don't like to do that because it's just you're stuck. And if it doesn't work, what do you do? You know what I mean? So I go off of always the energy, crowd reaction, and then even like a lot of DJs don't take requests. Like people come up to me on game day and they say, "Hey, can you play this?" And I'm like, "You know what? That's a good request. Let me go ahead and throw it in."
There you go.
Or, "Hey, can you play this?" And I'm like, "It's not the best version, but let me play a version that's a remix that caters to the stadium and it has more energy." So I try to involve a lot of the fans as much as possible as well.
Yeah, no press play, walk away, DJ.
Never. No. Trying to keep the DJ culture alive because, AI eventually might want to take over us in our industry. So
taking over everyone.
Over everyone.
When they came to you and it was like, all right, you're now responsible for being the in-match DJ, creating the atmosphere for what hasn't existed here before, at least for the MLS. What like responsibility did that bring to you, and like what kind of joy do you get out of being a part of creating something from the ground up?
Honestly, it was a true honor. Like, I feel like I made a lot of DJs proud. I feel like I made a lot of San Diego locals proud because, it's our inaugural season. It's never existed. And for me to be the chosen one, like, I felt very honored, very grateful, very thankful. And I remember I did a video in the beginning of the season when they introduced Beto and I.
Yeah,
and
I was there.
And I remember saying,
First time
I remember saying, like, don't worry, like, San Diego, I'm not gonna let you down. Like, I promise I'm not gonna let you down. Like, I've been here almost 20 years now. I consider myself a resident of San Diego. My children are born here, and I know the culture, I know the community, and I know what the people like and do not like. So I will always push for community. I will always push for culture. So I felt like a big responsibility, but I didn't feel the pressure. I felt like I got this. I felt like I was made for this moment, and I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job of fulfilling and stepping into those shoes. You know what I mean? So I had tremendous joy for sure. I remember calling my mom and my brother because my brothers are diehard soccer fans. Me and my brothers we have a chat about international soccer, MLS, La Liga. You know what I mean? And they were just like, "Wow, like that's crazy. Like you're really doing it. Like it's one thing for you to DJ for these big artists like Bad Bunny, Fuerza Regida, and another thing to DJ, San Francisco 49ers and World Cup, but you're doing something that's in your community on an inaugural season. Yeah. It's
where you feel the connection to that city. Yeah.
Exactly. So for me, it's been one of my ultimate dreams achieved, and I'm excited to continue to grow with the team and the community of San Diego.
Have you had a moment up there where you stepped back and just kind of looked around and you're like, wow, like this is everything?
There's been a few. Definitely the very first match, the inaugural match. That one was a huge one. The next one was when we played and beat LAFC. That was a big one because obviously I think they were the recent champions. Yeah. We were not supposed to win that game on paper. The energy on that game was crazy. That's when I started like, okay, we're doing something here. We're going somewhere. And then I remember playing against, I think it was Nashville. It was a Friday night
Dioro
game.
concert
Yeah.
night?
And I think that night, I don't know what it was, but the energy was just next level. I don't know if it was because it was a Friday night game. We've always played Tuesdays and Saturdays. That was a Friday night game. I feel going into the weekend, the energy was crazier. And then Dioro was a Dioro night. Dioro actually invited me to DJ with him. We did like a back-to-back set. And I remember Chucky coming up to me and like saying hi to me. And I was just like, wow, like Chucky acknowledged me, you know what I mean? That night I was like, wow, this is awesome. I felt like I was on top of the world. Like for Dioro to acknowledge me like that and invite me and, to DJ with him, that was really awesome. So I think those are a couple of moments where I've been like, this is really great. This is awesome. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this. You know what I mean? I think those were the top couple of moments that I can highlight.
What do you look forward to the future? This team's about to play in playoffs, going to have one, maybe two home matches, depending on how the first round goes. What's that going to be like for you to be a part of that atmosphere?
I'm looking forward to winning and going deep in the playoffs and hopefully to the MLS Cup and getting that first ring that San Diego needs.
Yep.
That's what I'm looking forward to most. And obviously DJing the home games. I mean, hopefully we do get 2 home games or maybe we sweep and we don't have to come back here. But it sounds like there's going to be a couple home games, and I feel like I'm a a big part of the energy, because player warm-ups and fans, curating their energy and the way they're gonna be vibing for game day. And as you know, our fans are a huge part of the game. So I feel like I have a large responsibility, but I know for a fact that I got it, and like I said, I'm not gonna let San Diego down. I'm not gonna let the fans down. I'm not gonna let the players down. And I'm excited. I mean, I got almost 20 games under my belt that I've been DJing, home games, including the friendlies. And I'm excited. I feel like it's gonna be a sold out stadium. The energy is gonna be on another level. I think we're gonna be nationally televised.
Let's go.
And I think the players are ready. We're healthy, and we got a lot of momentum. And I'm excited to stay at the top of the mountain, because at the moment we're the 1 seed, and I think it's gonna stay that way.
Yep. We're all ready. I'm ready. The players, I think, are ready. Everybody's ready. So
it seems like just yesterday that we were having the inaugural game. Like,
so
home opener, and here we are.
Yeah, I can't wait for playoffs. Yeah,
getting close to the end, and thank God that we're here. In the playoffs at the 1 seed. I mean, I don't think a lot of us, maybe the players and the coaches knew the expectations that we could have, but I know me personally, I was like, you know what? I think we could push for a playoff spot, but 1 seed is pretty amazing.
Yeah, hopefully it holds up. A few teams have some games in hand, so it'll be interesting on decision day.
Yeah, it's a big weekend. We'll talk about that a little bit in the next segment. Give you all the info on what that potential seeding could look like, but
could be a few different scenarios.
Could be a few different scenarios.
We just got to get this W next weekend.
Yeah.
And that'll help. That'll help.
There it is.
I have a question. What is your favorite go-to song that you play? Maybe it's not on your track list where you're going to play it, but when you're at an SDFC game, you're like, I need to get the vibes up. Like, what is your go-to?
La Chona by Los Tucanes de Tijuana. That one goes every time. It doesn't matter. I actually had last weekend at the game that we just had last weekend, I had 2 little girls come up to me, and they were like, all shy. I thought they were going to ask me for a picture. They flat out said, can you play La Chona? I was like, wow. That's an 8-year-old girl and a 5-year-old girl asking me for La Chona. I was like, I got you, girl. Don't worry. That's definitely one of my go-tos. I think it's the perfect song, you know what I mean, for the stadium. So I love playing that. There's several, but that's definitely one of them for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one. The energy's always
and obviously also
so
like
good.
the San Diego local artists, Rob Stone. We play Chill Bill right when the players come out. Shout out to Rob Stone. That's one of my little homies. Rossi Rock, another good friend of mine. Obviously, Frankie J, Little Rob, J.O. Felony. I try to mix in a lot of local artists, even if maybe the younger generation's not familiar with them. But again, I'm all about culture, and it's San Diego culture is Frankie J. It's Rossi Rock, Rob Stone, Little Rob, J.O. Felony. There's a long list. Blink 182.
Yeah.
Do all the small things at the end of the match. We win. That's our tradition. Shout out to Taylor, by the way. This was a great idea by her. We play all the small things as our winning song. When we win, we play all the small things.
Love
Pretty
that.
cool song.
I like that. A little inside info.
San Diego's own, We're creating tradition here. So little by little,
Exactly.
we'll create more tradition as we come. And if anyone ever has suggestions, feel free to let us know, because again, community, right? We're all about giving back to the community, and if the community wants to get involved and say, hey, we should do this, or we should play these songs, or we should do this segment, we're all open ears always.
Nice. What's so outside of soccer, I'm going just into the music world, what's your favorite moment from your career, you think, so far?
Wow, there's a lot, but I would say one that was a huge one for me was right after the pandemic. The world was shut down for almost 2 years. I remember Bad Bunny announced his tour, 2022. It's called El Último Tour del Mundo, and he was doing a USA tour. And I've known Bad Bunny and his team for many years. I brought him to Canelo in 2019 to his gym. They met, they became friends. So I've known Bad Bunny for a while. And when they announced that tour, they reached out to me. His team reached out to me to DJ and open up at the Pechanga Arena. So I feel like that moment for me was like, because mainly because I was scared during the pandemic, like, what if the world doesn't open again? What if I don't DJ again? What if the clubs don't ever open again? So for me to come out of the pandemic, and my first show was opening for Bad Bunny in my hometown, where
How were the nerves for that?
What a welcome back
It was
moment.
the loudest arena I've ever been around. Like nothing will ever be louder than that.
Yeah.
Ever, ever, ever. People have been stuck at home for almost 2 years. And one of the biggest, if not the biggest artists is in San Diego, sold out. And I get to open for him. Literally, I'm opening for him. They gave me full freedom. They put my logo up on the screens. They gave me a microphone. I'm DJing. And then 10 seconds after I finish DJing, I introduce Bad Bunny, he comes out. So it's like, I was like right there. It's not like I opened up and then an hour later he came out. Like I was direct support. So that, I remember like choking up and tearing up that day. I was like, wow, like, okay, we're back.
Yeah.
That's
You know what I
awesome.
mean? And we're back in a major way. Like I feel like my career shifted in a whole nother direction after that one. So I would say if I had to pick one, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. But if I had to pick one, it would definitely have to be that moment for the fact that it was right after the pandemic.
Yeah.
And it was in San Diego. You know what I mean? I think that for sure would have to be my number one moment of
Like
my
a
career.
2-year build-up release.
Yes.
Yes. People just trying to get back out there, trying to have some
Yes.
fun again, and then it's just
Yes.
an explosion of excitement.
Explosion of excitement. I remember that entire year and that entire summer was just, every weekend was like New Year's Eve and Halloween weekend. Everyone was just outside. Everyone was having a
trying
good
to- yeah,
time.
exactly.
Everyone was just not on their phones. Everybody was just dancing and having a blast. And it was a great experience. It was a great year.
That's amazing. Well, maybe we can top that in the playoffs.
I think
If we win MLS Cup, it'll be
I
like
think that's gonna
It'll be just like that
we've been
moment.
when
waiting
we raise that MLS Cup and we get them rings. I
60,
think that's
70
gonna
years
be
waiting for it.
that's gonna be the number one moment for sure. Because that was 3 years ago, going on 4. So I think we're due for a bigger moment. We gotta elevate every year, right?
Of course.
Well, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you,
We
guys.
really appreciate you coming on and for everything that you do for this club.
100%.
You can find him at DJ Dynamiq on Instagram. Any
you.
other plugs that you wish to share? But
DJ Dynamiq, I have a vlog out on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok. Hopefully start a podcast here soon and more music on the way. And don't forget, you can catch me on game day every home game, San Diego FC, in-game DJ Dynamiq. Thanks for the love. San Diego FC, Chroma Azul. Muchas gracias.
Let's go.
flow with us.
Flow with us,
Thank
baby.
you for watching. Single match tickets for San Diego FC's Audi 2025 MLS Cup playoff matches are on sale now at sandiegofc.com/playoffs. Fans can secure their seats to witness the club's first postseason run and be a part of this milestone moment in San Diego soccer history. 2026 SDFC season ticket members receive guaranteed access to purchase playoff tickets with the best value and best seats. Fans interested in becoming a season ticket member can visit sandiegofc.com/memberships for more information. Fans can learn more about tickets, playoff format, and more by visiting sandiegofc.com/playoffs.
Hey everybody, this is Darren Smith. I host a radio show called SDFC Midweek Live. You can hear it Wednesday nights, 6 o'clock on San Diego Sports 760 and anytime on the iHeartRadio app. Join me, Adrian Garcia Marquez, Warren Barton, SDFC players and staff. It's the only hour on local radio dedicated 100% to San Diego Football Club and the beautiful game.
All right, welcome back in. It is time to talk about the playoffs. This is our third iteration of our playoff segment.
Do it.
As we are getting ready for, as you were mentioning earlier, Decision Day and the importance of what that is. That is on October 18th. That is the final regular season games for all teams across the league. And that's really going to give us a good picture of what playoffs are going to look like. So,
Yeah, look, I mean, I think you got all the Eastern Conference teams playing at 3 p.m. Western time, and then all the Western Conference teams playing at 6 p.m. It's pretty unique to the MLS. Marv and I had to look it up. When was the first kind of decision day in the MLS? And it turns out it was in 2015 when the New York Red Bulls won Supporters Shield. I had an assist in that game to Bradley Wright Phillips, who put us ahead. But yeah, no, I mean, it's a unique thing, I think, in any sport, really, because it's been always done, overseas in European soccer, but you don't really get that in American sports where everybody's playing on the exact same day. So it's unique because there's so much movement within the table on that last day. You can put up one of those live standings where it's just like teams are just constantly moving based on who scores. which is always like really fun and cool to watch.
As a fan and as a viewer, that's got to be so fun to be able to experience that. I hardly, from having a working position during games, get to experience that. You're just getting the message updates of like, this is the scenario, this is what's happening now.
This team, and you're like,
but I bet that's really cool experience for fans to be able to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and then you see it in the Premier League, right, where it's like teams are jumping, and obviously in the Premier League, it goes more into like the seeding is like huge, right, for money and for Champions League seeding and all that. But for the MLS, it's that little bit down because it's more for the playoff seeding, because in American sports and in the MLS, the playoffs is everything.
Well, you've already touched on it a little bit. The Eastern Conference teams, those postseason teams are set. It's between Philadelphia, Cincy, Miami, Charlotte, NYCFC, Nashville, Orlando, Chicago, and Columbus. All other teams on that side of the conference have been eliminated. The Supporters Shield obviously went to Philadelphia after their result over last weekend. So congratulations to them. But, seeding for that side is still up for grabs on decision day. And the Western Conference, it looks a lot different.
Yeah, it's a mess.
That's tight.
Talk us through just what are some of the different scenarios for what we could see on the Western Conference with teams that have games in hand. So actually LAFC is about to play Wednesday, so the 8th and the 12th, to make up those games in hand, so that every team on decision day will be, playing their final game of the season. But what do you think that looks like?
I think Seattle, right, is the only team that's actually locked into that 5th seed, no matter what, which is a team you don't want to have to play in the playoffs with their history of deep playoff runs and MLS Cups, and obviously Schmetzer being the coach there and his experience and the players they have. So, that's an interesting one. And then the rest is just kind of, jumbled. You got SDFC at top with only one game left. You got Minnesota, I think, at 58, 2 points behind them with only one game left. Then you got Vancouver with 2 games in hand, and they have 57, I think. Yeah, I think they have 57. So if they win outright, they could potentially put a wrinkle in it. So, and then you got LAFC. They have a few games in hand as well, and they could leapfrog up there. So the top 4 is really a coin toss. I think we'll know more after this weekend, after LAFC plays a few games. So it's going to be interesting down to the end. And then you got obviously Austin in the mix, Portland. You still got Salt Lake, San Jose, and Colorado. And so it's going to be down to the wire. And I think if you're into the playoff seeding and a fan, you're definitely going to want to watch decision day, because like I said, there's going to be teams moving up and down as that day progresses.
Yeah, so all the teams that have been eliminated so far, Houston now eliminated after the result this weekend, St. Louis, Kansas City, and LA Galaxy. So the teams we're still looking at are San Jose, Colorado, Salt Lake, Dallas, Portland, Austin, Seattle, like we've mentioned. And that top 4 spot looks like San Diego, Vancouver, Minnesota, and LAFC. LAFC is playing 2 more games. They're sitting at 56 points currently. Minnesota at 58. They're sitting with us as they only have 1 game left to play. Vancouver has 2 games left to play. They're making that up this weekend with playing a game then. And, we've already mentioned LAFC with the 2 games this Wednesday and Sunday. It's
gonna be interesting. So LAFC still has 3 games left in the season.
Correct? Yep.
Okay. And so, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And they're looking like they're flying on all cylinders with Sun and Boanga having a great partnership up top. That's a team that, it would be someone I don't want to run into early in the playoffs, but obviously certainly at the end, you're going to have to play every team eventually if they're doing well. So it's going to be interesting. Literally, I think it's going to be cool. Hopefully SDFC can get past that first round where they could potentially play 2 games at home, hopefully just 1, because they'll take care of the one at home and then take care of the one on the road. And then, again, get that next playoff seeding where they can hopefully... The seeding matters, right? We want to be the highest seed because home playoff games is a different animal.
And for people who may not know exactly why does seeding matter, can you share with them why seeding matters and what seeds will play which matchups? Yeah,
so the 1 is going to play the winner of that last wild card spot, which is the winner of 8 and 9. They're going to play a 1-game series to see basically who gets into playoffs. So 1's going to play there, 2's going to play 7, 3's going to play 6, and 4's going to play 5, with the higher seed 1 through 4 having the advantage of home. So they're going to get the first home playoff game. The second game will be on the road. And then if it needs be, the third game, it will be back at that home higher seed team. So, and then the rest of the playoffs literally is a 1-game playoff with the higher seed playing at home. So yeah, you want to finish as high as possible. Now, if you're SDFC, does it really matter? We have 11 road wins. I mean, we play better on the road. No, I'm just kidding. But as I mentioned earlier, I think SDFC has played well at home. It's just a matter of finishing their chances and getting a little bit unlucky.
Marv, who do you want to see this team play in the playoffs?
Who do I want to see when?
Don't jinx us, Marv. Don't pick the team that we actually play, and then.
Well, we were talking about this a little bit before, and I think what it's looking like is possibly like an Austin. We played them early on, and we played them away. They got the result, and then we came here. We kind of got a little bit of comebacks or a little bit of payback. So I think that's a team that I think we could actually nullify their attack. They kind of had the Vasquez up top, making his runs and all that stuff. I think we can nullify that. And it's this kind of a weird question who I want to see us play. You know what I mean?
Well, if you had to pick one, no, I'm just Portland would be an interesting one too, because they're playing them on decision day. So it's like, I personally, as a player, would not want to play them on decision day and then be like, oh, we're playing them again. And then, hey, we're playing them again.
Does that make it harder? Are you playing them potentially 4 games almost in a row?
Yeah,
plus, I don't want to play on that turf.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're playing... Anytime you play a team over and over and over again,
you're learning so much.
Yeah, and it just it starts to become more and more level. And so I think if it's just a 1-game series, maybe you're here and then you start coming closer as you play more and more games. And so if you'd have to play Portland in the first round, it would definitely throw a little wrench into things that you also play them on decision day.
Well, there's so much to look forward to. Again, Decision Day is on October 18th. That is when playoff seeding will be finalized. So we will know who we will be playing in the playoffs. It'll be really exciting. Please make sure that once that schedule is released, you are getting out there, getting tickets. Tickets are on sale already, so you can go ahead and secure your spot. It's going to be such an incredible atmosphere. We talked to DJ Dynamiq about what his plans are for the playoffs and just how exciting this is for the city.
Yeah. Just to touch on the atmosphere for the playoffs, and we're not quite there yet, but Marv, you've played in a lot of playoff games. Can you explain kind of that all or nothing or do or die type game and what that feels like?
Electric. Yeah. Plus, I was actually wondering this too. It's yes, SDFC has played in so many league games, but what will happen when the pressure is actually on? There are consequences of the certain results that they get. And when I've played in these games, it was a lot of pressure on myself because, it didn't seem as together as this team is. But if everyone's together with the same mentality and the same mindset of, we got this, giving the person next to you adapts and it almost relaxes you a little bit more. Yeah. So there has to be a feel of community and togetherness to kind of dissipate the anxiety that can generally come, because it's going to happen. It's going to feel different no matter what. Yeah. It's not going to be another game. I mean, essentially, if you want to have a perfect world, every game's the most important game in the world, right? Yeah. But this will just feel different. And not to mention, the other side's going to come at you harder with every little bit. They're going to tackle harder. They're going to go in for every 50-50 a little bit harder. The shots are going to be hit with more zest and all that stuff. So the whole atmosphere is going to be different. And I think we can weather it. We don't get too excited. We still play our game. We maintain. I mean, obviously it's worked throughout the season, but we'll see how we handle that extra little bit of pressure. Hopefully we can dissipate it and just have it all together. Yeah.
I mean, basically for those fans that haven't been a part of obviously playoff soccer, being an expansion year team. I mean, just look at all the other sports, right? Look at the Padres, look at baseball, look how those playoff games feel and how they are. And it's the same thing. You're going to feel that same type of emotion. Every play is going to matter, right? Mm-hmm. Every tackle matters. And it's just this, I don't know. It's this, it's this feeling that's so hard to describe,
it's really hard to
as a player,
explain it. Yeah. Unless you experience it. I felt the same thing being with clubs before that have made it to playoffs. It's a really special atmosphere.
Yeah. It's unique.
So looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. Again, you can find us wherever you listen to or watch your podcast. We're also on YouTube. Thank you so much for all of your support through 21 episodes of the pod. We will continue to bring you more coverage as we go through the playoffs and the final game of the regular season.
Let's do this.
Let's go.
Both of us.